So, it's that time of year where I finally get to rank through my favorite movies of the year. 2025 ended up being one of the better years for films we've had this decade. In my opinion, I think it's been the second best year after 2023. There were a lot of incredible movies that came out this year. Significantly better than I believe 2024 was. There are 5 movies this year that would have ranked as my favorite movie of 2024. So I have a list of the 20 best movies I've seen this year. Before I get into it, listen, this is just my list, so you can disagree with me. I'm sure there are going to be some movies in some places that a lot of people don't agree with. I also didn't see every single film that came out this year. I made a conscious decision this year to not see as many movies and to not see as many movies that I think I was not going to like. So there are some big films that I definitely missed out on, so if you don't see them here, that might be why. Or I just didn't like the movie that much. Yeah, that's a possibility too. So let's get into it. I got 20 movies, so let's get started at number 20. And number 20 is The Materialist, the brand new film from director Celine Song. This is her follow-up to, of course, Past Lives, which was an incredible movie a couple years ago. Materialist is a film that a lot of people did not love that much. I had a really good time with this. Of course, it's not as good as Past Lives, but it's definitely a very, very fun, very interesting sort of rom-com, which follows Dakota Johnson as she's trying to decide between this stunning, beautiful man in Pedro Pascal and this ugly bum Chris Evans, apparently. He's supposed to be a bum, I guess. I found this movie to be really funny. The writing was kind of tight and enjoyable. I thought the performances here were a good time. I had a lot of fun with The Materialist. I had a lot more fun than I guess a lot of other people had with it. This was a good time at the theater, and it's number 20 on my list. Number 19 is Bugonia, the brand new film from Yorgos Lanthimos. A little bit lower than a lot of Yorgos' films usually end up on my list. I had a very, very good time with Bugonia. It just ended up being a little more forgettable, like Kinds of Kindness or Poor Things the previous 2 years, but Bugonia was definitely a great time. You have an extremely strong Emma Stone performance, a premise that's really tight and fun and hilarious, but also dark, and it goes places that are shocking. You have one of my favorite endings to a Yorgos movie that he's ever done. The themes here are really sort of self-explanatory. It's a solid film that I don't have a lot of complaints about. I just kind of forgot that I saw it. Number 18 is Ballerina, the first John Wick spin-off that they've done. This is another movie that only ranks this low because I kind of forgot it came out, but I had a ball with this film. This is an incredible John Wick-esque movie. If you like the John Wick movies and that sort of action, you're going to get a lot of it here with Ana de Armas taking over as the star in this one, and she kicks ass and commands the screen. This movie is fast-paced, it's badass, it's got all of the little quirks and knocks of that John Wick universe that makes those movies so much fun to sort of get involved in the world building and everything. This is just a really, really good movie, one of the better action movies of the year, and yeah, it's number 18. Sinners is a movie that's going to rank very highly on most people's lists, maybe even number 1. It's a movie that I clearly enjoy as it's ranking number 17 on my list. But it's not one that I loved or had the same staying power with me as it had with other people. Sinners is a Ryan Coogler masterpiece. It's a great movie that's filmed almost completely in IMAX about vampires. It's a vampire. It's sort of a love letter to music and old vampire movies. It's sort of like The Thing in some ways. It's got a little bit of everything in this film. It's a love letter to Christopher Nolan as a filmmaker in some ways. Michael B. Jordan gives a great performance playing 2 different characters. You have Haley Steinfeld playing a very memorable character. You have a great villain in this film. There's just a lot in this movie that is going to be memorable for a lot of people. For me, it's just one that didn't hit as hard as I wanted it to. I had some issues with the third act and the pacing, but it's still one of the better films of the year, landing at number 17. Number 16 is F1. Yeah, this is the new Joseph Kosinski movie, you know, his follow-up to Top Gun Maverick, and I absolutely love this. F1 is just your typical sort of mom and dad movie. What I mean by that is the movie you turn on and you watch with your mom and dad and you all have a great time and it's just really fun. It's a sports movie, it's a driving movie with Brad Pitt playing Brad Pitt and being cool and cars driving really fast in practical ways. This is just a fun movie with maybe my favorite score of the year. Hans Zimmer's score here is brilliant and I love it so much. This is the only comic book movie on this list, I think, unless I'm forgetting. Let me look at it. This is the only comic book movie on my list, yes. Another one that I kind of forgot came out, which is why it ranks a little bit lower, but I loved Thunderbolts when it came out. This is by far my favorite thing that Marvel has put out this decade. I think Thunderbolts is a really, really good film. It's a film that shouldn't have worked. You have a bunch of these characters who have been introduced in this new phase of the MCU, a bunch of characters who haven't been that interesting in their other projects, but they all come together here and mend really well. They have great chemistry, people like Florence Pugh and Wyatt Russell. And you have a story and a villain and a theme here that really works. This is a film about depression and found family, and everything here just kind of mends together well. It's a screenplay that I love. It's very different than anything else that the MCU has been doing lately. It actually feels like a movie, something that wasn't just put together in a factory to sell toys and build like another big franchise. Like, it felt like they were genuinely trying to tell a story with this one, and it worked well for me. I really like Thunderbolts. Nuremberg's another movie that kind of went under the radar. This is a film, of course, about the Nuremberg trials. It stars Russell Crowe, who plays Hermann Goering. It also stars Rami Malek. It is a really solid movie. It's a big historical drama. It's one that's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but as somebody who loves history, I really enjoy this movie. There's a lot of kind of sort of cheesy filmmaking stuff that feels very cheap and very sort of mom and pop-ish and Yellowstone-y, if you know what I mean, what I'm trying to kind of reference there. But altogether, this is a very important and impactful historical piece that I think was done really well. I love the performances here, and I had a great time watching this as somebody who loves history. Train Dreams kind of came out of nowhere. Netflix just kind of randomly dropped it on their platform, and it's solid. It is a really, really good movie. Train Dreams stars Joel Edgerton, who plays this guy living in the 19th century, and the movie is essentially about change, watching the world pass by. I don't really want to get into the actual plot of this movie because there's something that happens very, very sort of at the 20% mark of the film that makes you go, oh, so that's what this movie is. And I don't want to spoil that, obviously, but it's a really beautiful movie. It's really quiet, simple. The cinematography is gorgeous. The performances are amazing. The soundtrack and the score are beautiful. This is one I've recommended to a lot of people, and I definitely recommend it. It's on Netflix right now. You can go watch it and just enjoy a great, therapeutic, beautiful film that's got all of the emotional impact that you would want from a great movie. Now, I'm not the biggest Paul Thomas Anderson fan, so it took me a while to actually sit down and watch One Battle After Another. And after finally watching it a couple times, I have to admit, I kind of enjoy it. One Battle After Another, it might not be my favorite PTA film, but it's definitely not my least favorite of his film. I don't love this movie as much as a lot of other people. Like, this is my favorite movie of the year, obviously, only ranking number 12, but this is a high-octane piece of cinema. Leonardo DiCaprio is on fire here. You have great performances from Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn. This movie is a non-stop adrenaline rush. It's hilarious. There are a lot of great epic moments. It's probably PTA's best shot piece, I think. This is as good as everybody's hyping it up to be. It's a great movie, and it ranks number 12 here. If I Had Legs, They'd Kick You is a movie that not enough people saw. It's a movie about motherhood, the stresses of being a mother or being a single mother. It is one of the most nauseating and stressful films that I have ever endured in my entire life, and seeing this at the New York Film Festival was a treat. It has a great cast here. Of course, Conan O'Brien's in this movie and is hilarious. This movie, in and of itself, is really funny despite being extraordinarily stressful. I love this film. I honestly kind of forgot I had seen this one too until I went back and was doing, you know, my look back for this video to see what movies actually came out this year, and I remembered how great this one actually was and how everybody should go check it out. Kicking off the top 10 is The Life of Chuck, Mike Flanagan's brand new film. He's been off doing a bunch of TV series lately. Now he's come with The Life of Chuck, this brand new Stephen King adaptation, and it is a wonderful and beautiful piece of art. One word that I would use to describe The Life of Chuck constantly is beautiful. It's just a movie that makes you feel beautiful. It's a movie about life, but not the tragedy of life, but the beauty of life and how incredible life could be. It's a film that's told in a non-conventional way, starting in its third act and ending in its first act. You have so many great performances here that I can't really name. You have Mike Flanagan's very unique writing style with these heavy and long monologues that always lead to some kind of emotional gut punch. It's just a great Mike Flanagan piece. If you like Mike Flanagan's work, which I know not everybody does, this film is going to work for you, and I absolutely adored it. Another Stephen King adaptation, The Long Walk, is awesome. It is dark, it's brutal, it's about brotherhood, it's one of the more emotional movies I saw this year. It got me very emotional. I love the book, The Long Walk, and although I like the book a little bit more than the movie due to some changes they made with the ending, The Long Walk is as good of an adaptation as you could really expect for a Stephen King movie. This is another movie that really plays out like a play. There's a lot of these long, drawn-out monologues of characters just literally walking next to each other and talking and yapping and yapping and yapping, and it somehow works because you have a really tight and amazing screenplay. Francis Lawrence is a really good director. He's used to making these kinds of movies with all of the experience doing The Hunger Games. And yeah, The Long Walk is great, and I strongly and highly recommend it. Frankenstein is another piece that was just dumped on Netflix with no care and no real marketing, but it's the brand new film from Guillermo del Toro, and it is as good as you could expect a Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein film to be. The most impressive set design of the entire year. I mean, the production design here is absolutely off the charts. You have Jacob Elordi giving an incredible performance. You have Oscar Isaac giving one of my favorite performances of the year. This is just a really perfect adaptation of Frankenstein. Does it really go beyond what I expected it to be? No, but it did what it needed to do, which was enough to be a top 10 movie of the year for me. Number 7 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The final Mission Impossible movie? Probably not. I love this film. I love the Mission Impossible movies so much. These films never fail to just entertain the living hell out of me. And although this one is not the best one they've done, it is still a high-octane, near 3-hour ride of Tom Cruise just being Tom Cruise and doing some crazy shit. This movie has the craziest action set piece I've ever seen in my life, with Tom Cruise literally jumping from one plane onto another. It is my favorite line reading of any single movie that I have seen this year, maybe ever.
You must be Captain Bledsoe.
And you must be out of your mind.
The underwater stuff in this film is extremely impressive. This is just a really good movie. I love the Mission Impossible films, and if you love them, you're probably gonna have a good time with this one. It's number 7. Chloe Zhao's follow-up to her incredible masterpiece, The Eternals. Yeah, somehow she made that movie and then followed it up with Hamnet. Yes, Hamnet is incredible. This is a remarkable movie. I've seen this movie twice now, and the way that I've seen it affect people while watching it is something that I've never really seen with any other film ever. This film has an emotional gut punch that is just so brutal. Both times I've seen this movie, I have watched people be emotional wrecks at the events of this film. I have been an emotional wreck watching this movie. If you don't know what Hamnet is, it stars Paul Mescal and Jessie Buckley and William Shakespeare's wife, and it's about essentially the death of their child and the creation of Hamlet. And it includes 2 of the best performances you're ever going to see, including one from Jessie Buckley, which is probably the performance of the decade. Just a beautiful movie, and one that's probably going to be up for every single award this year. It's great, and you should go see it. And number 5 is Blue Moon, a movie that has not been talked about enough. One of 2 new Dick Linklater movies we had this year, the other one being Nouvelle Vague, a film that I also really enjoyed. Blue Moon is a classic Linklater film about characters in one room just talking and hanging out, and it plays out like a stage play. You have Ethan Hawke, who plays this playwright who feels like he's been abandoned by his longtime partner who just released his new play, which is incredible. It's like the greatest play ever. Of course, Andrew Scott playing Richard Rogers here. Ethan Hawke gives my personal favorite performance I've seen this year. He is just so heartbreaking but beautiful, and you can't take your eyes off him. He commands the screen and every word of the script. I was just absolutely engaged with everything he was doing in this film. I was laughing so hard. I was wanting to cry at certain moments. He is just such a brilliant worker, and in this film, you really see the best of his career put into one film. I really enjoyed this film. It's really my favorite style of Richard Linklater movie that he does, this sort of before sunrise style of movie. And I didn't think enough people saw this one, and I really recommend going to check it out, especially if you like those films from Linklater. Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice is incredible. It is hilarious, it's action-packed, it's surprising, it's a little bit of Breaking Bad, but it's everything you want from a Park Chan-wook film. It might actually be my favorite film from him. I really love Decision to Leave as well, but No Other Choice is a great movie about a man who is on a quest to get a job. It's about unemployment, essentially, and the struggles of being the head of a family and trying to take care of a family. There are so many funny bits in this movie, so many interesting things that Park does with a camera, which is what you come to expect from him in a cinematography. The direction here is just absolutely incredible. It's just a great film. It was one of the best theater experiences I've ever had seeing this at the New York Film Festival, and the way the audience reacted to it. Easily one of the best movies of the year, number 4 on my list. Sentimental Value is the brand new film from Joachim Trier, and was a film that I really, any other year, probably would have been number 1. This film hit me emotionally more so than just about any other movie I've watched this year. I had to take an hour-long walk through Central Park alone with some headphones on and some sad music just to kind of embrace this movie the way I needed to after watching it. It's a film that's about a family, and a splintered family. And Stellan Skarsgård, who plays this father who is making a movie essentially about his daughter. He's written this film for his daughter, and she denies being in the movie. She doesn't want to be in the movie, so he goes off and attempts to make the film without her, and it's just a film about family struggles and past traumas, and it's so beautifully done and beautifully shot and beautifully acted, and has some of the best dialogue and just organic, real family drama scenes I've ever seen. This is a film that's that's going to be inspiring my personal writing for years to come. It's my favorite Trier film, and I think everybody should go watch Sentimental Value. I think it is beautiful. Number 2 is the film with the best marketing campaign of the year by far, Marty Supreme. My God, Marty Supreme is unbelievable. So badly wanted to put this number 1, but the number 1 spot I just think is a little bit better. Marty Supreme, coming from Josh Safdie, is essentially the trilogy ender of Good Time, Uncut Gems, and now Marty Supreme. And what I mean by a trilogy ender to that, it's this extremely tense, suspenseful drama about a person whose life is just kind of falling apart and they're trying to balance everything, and it is physically impossible to balance everything. You have Timothée Chalamet giving by far the best performance of his career. He is so engaging to watch and so entertaining and commands the screen. The dialogue here is so well written. It's got such a beautiful script that's so tight and paced perfectly. This is a film that I think is going to surprise a lot of people because it's not really about ping pong. It's very closer to something like Uncut Gems in a sense that it's just about this guy going through some crazy shit and his life is just spiraling and spiraling and spiraling. But this movie has one of the most satisfying endings I've ever seen ever. It is emotional like a lot of the other movies on this list. It's got a little bit of everything. You're going to be laughing, you're going to be screaming, you're going to be gripping your chair, and you might even be crying. Marty Supreme is everything it's hyped up to be. It's incredible, and it's so close to being the best movie of the year, but Weapons, to me, is a film that I'm going to be thinking about for the next 20, 30, 40 years of my life. It's one of those films that just feels like, it feels like it's going to be one of my favorite movies of all time. The top 5 movies of all time for me, Weapons is probably going to sneak its way onto there. Which might come as a shock, and me putting it number 1 might come as a shock because it's not ranking this high on pretty much anybody else, because I don't really see anybody else ranking it this high. But Weapons is a film that I just find to be completely and utterly perfect. It is a spotless movie that delivers everything that I am personally looking for in a movie. First off, Zach Cregger as a director is so confident and so powerful and amazing at what he does for having so little experience. This is only his second movie. His script here is so incredibly interesting. It's something that I have never seen before. This concept, the themes, the way he balances all of these characters, the structure, it is so interesting to me and so fascinating and so different than anything else that's being put out here. The basic premise of this movie of these kids disappearing and running away and being caught on the ring cams and everything and disappearing in the middle of the night, like that is such a fascinating sort of hook that you're locked into this movie from its opening seconds. Its characters are so interesting and the performances here are also great. You have Alden Ehrenreich, who I think gives such a heart-stopping performance here that does not get talked about enough. You have the obvious performances that I don't want to even talk about because I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody who hasn't seen it. Josh Brolin is so great here. This movie is just so excellent. It is a great horror movie. It has its moments that are terrifying and tense and will scare the shit out of you, but it's also hilarious. But it doesn't use its comedy to break its tone. Its tone never stops being this suspenseful horror film. It continues to be that through the credits, despite the fact that he's able to insert an absurd amount of comedy throughout. The ending of this movie is absolutely hilarious, but it does not sacrifice the entirety of what the script is building up to be, this big horror concept. I've never seen another filmmaker or any other movie do this way. It is such a unique form of cinema. Zach Cregger has a style that is unlike anything that I have ever seen, and Weapons is sort of the epitome of that style. I feel like Weapons is the style of movie that's going to cause a lot of other filmmakers to try to replicate this for years to come, and they're going to fail, because this is just such an interesting film. It's like if Quentin Tarantino was a horror movie director. That's kind of what Weapons sort of reminds me of. It is by far my favorite movie of the year, maybe my favorite movie of the decade. I think Weapons is absolutely perfect. It is my favorite movie of 2025. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more. What is your favorite movie of 2025? Let me know down below.